Some hit 30 and fade. Others hit 1 when everything's on the line and become eternal. He swung his way into the postseason lore with a moment that still rings in Yankee Stadium air. I present to you Jim Leyritz. We're going to get right into it. Game 4, 1996 World Series. The Yankees were down 0-2 in the series to the Braves, trailing 6-3 in the 8th inning on the road at Atlanta, Fulton County.
Yep.
Looked bleak at the time. Mark Wohlers was on the mound, dealing 100-mile-per-hour gas. You, Jim, stepped into the box. Can you walk us through that at-bat from heartbeat to contact?
Yeah, well, I'm going to go back even further a little bit because there's a little more history there. Before I went up to bat, I only had 2 bats left. I broke 2 during batting practice. And when Don Zimmer said, this guy throws 100 miles an hour, get it ready, I went to Darryl Strawberry, who had a brand new box of Mizunos. And I said, Straw, can I borrow one of those?
Oh.
And I took a brand new Mizuno of Darryl's out of the box, went up to the on-deck circle. Of course, didn't know anything about Mark Wohlers, but even before that, in the bottom of the 7th, when Wohlers was warming up, Pat Kelly said to me, at least we didn't get swept.
There you go.
Because we saw Wohlers warming up, and he was there, Mariano Rivera at the time, and we're like, okay, well, at least we won Game 3 and we didn't get swept. And sure enough, I go up to bat. I get up there. Wohlers throws a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, first pitch. I looked like I fouled it straight back, but it was a brand new bat. So when I did this and I looked up at it, the mark was right on the label. I wasn't even close to getting the head out. All right, but he didn't know that.
He didn't know that.
Nope. And then he threw 2 sliders for balls. Then he threw another 99-mile-an-hour fastball. And I fouled it back again. And I looked up at that time. It was a little more off the label, but still not all the way out in front. And Tim McCarver was doing the telecast. And Tim McCarver said, Wohlers is going to the slider too much. And now he's through 99. He's going to get the fans behind him. He might break 100 right here. And then he threw a slider.
Yep.
And I just barely fouled it off because I wasn't looking for that. So now I'm thinking he's going to come back with a fastball. Well, he came back with another slider. He hung it. And I hit the 3-run home run.
History was made.
Yeah.
Did you realize in that moment you were about to deliver one of the most iconic swings in Yankee history?
Now, I think a couple of things that happened. 95, I hit a walk-off home run against the Seattle Mariners in 15 innings in the playoffs to put us up 2-0. And then we lost 3 straight. And the home run kind of became a footnote. Well, all I could think about running the bases was if this doesn't win, it's another footnote.
Yeah, there you go.
And we ended up winning the game. Andy Pettit pitches the 1-0 game that I caught the next day in Game 5. We go home and we win Game 6. But really the whole part of that was the importance of that 96 team winning is because in 97 when they lost, Steinbrenner went into Gene Michael's office and said, get rid of Joe Torre, get rid of Mariano, who gave up the home run to Alomar. We're starting over. And Gene Michael said, George, did you remember we won last year? And he said, I'll give him 1 more year. And that was 1998.
And
so you think about the importance of not only the home run, but the 96 victory saved the 98, 99, and 2000 seasons.
And commenced that
and started
beautiful
that
run.
big dynasty. Yeah.
That's it. Now, you were not the marquee name, but you owned the marquee moment.
Yeah.
Where did that composure come from?
I grew up with Pete Rose. And I met Pete Rose when I was a 13-year-old kid. And I asked him, I was a bat boy in spring training with Tommy Brenneman, who was my best friend growing up. And I asked him, how are you so good in the clutch? And he said, because you know what? All I think about when I go for an at-bat is me against that pitcher. And as long as I keep the concentration on just the pitcher, I don't think about what's going on around me. So right now it's a spring training at-bat, or it could be a World Series at-bat. It's no different. It's me against him. And that's how I'm able to block out everything else. And as a 13-year-old kid, I kind of took that to heart. And I truly think that's what happened to me in the postseason. When Bob Costas introduced me at Joe Torre's dinner one year, he said the best postseason hitter in the 90s era was Jim Leyritz. And that was a pretty big compliment as a kid who never got drafted, who was never an everyday player, but to be able to have those moments.
Then I must ask, as a Cincinnati kid, your opinion on Pete Rose being freed at last
It better be
for eligibility.
It better be first-time Hall of Famer.
It's been
First ballot.
It's been a disgrace that he's not in.
It really has, especially over the last 5 years, where betting has become legal in baseball, where baseball is actually benefiting from it now. He should have been allowed to.
And so now we celebrate him posthumously.
Exactly. Yes.
Captain Jeter was still young when you played with him. What stood out about his presence?
Well, really what stood out the most for me was in '96 we win. He becomes Rookie of the Year. I get traded away, and I come back in 1999. Now he's already won another World Series. He's become Derek Jeter. I don't know if he was captain yet. I don't think it was yet, but he was the mainstay. And the one thing I wondered is, had all this success gone to his head? And he had a routine that he did, taking 250 ground balls, hitting 200 balls in a cage before he even went out for practice. I wondered if he had that same routine. When I got traded back, I showed up in Texas where the heat was tremendous.
Yeah.
I get to the field to unpack my bag, and who's at the field already? But Derek Jeter. His routine, his workout, he never missed his entire 20-year career. And that really stood out to me, that this kid was something special. And that was something you could appreciate as a veteran ball player.
You know, I want to credit his parents.
Of course.
That's his foundation right
his
there.
His mother and father were A1. And of course, the reason why he was brought up that way, why he never gave a soundbite that was out of being vanilla pretty much his entire career.
You shared a clubhouse with Doc Gooden, who's here. We just spoke to him. What was he like as a teammate in pinstripes?
You know what? It was one of the few guys I've seen who was given a second chance that did everything he could to make the most of that second chance. And I remember his no-hitter as a Yankee against the Seattle team. It was an amazing day. I actually helped carry him off the field.
I remember.
That was my, and I drove in a run that game. We won 2-0. It was great to see, but even more so of somebody who just cherished that second chance he was given to do what he did.
Indeed, Grace. What do you miss most about being a Yankee beyond the roar and rings?
I think it's just the camaraderie that the players that we had as championship teams, the 96, the 99, the 2000, all those championship teams that we were part of. I think you miss that a little bit. You don't miss the travel. You don't miss the every 3 days somewhere else. But I think it's the camaraderie most of all.
Where does life find you now? Family, mentorship, reflection, legacy? Yeah. We both share Michelle's.
Yes, I'm married to my wife.
Different women,
Michelle.
but the same name, Michelle.
I met her actually over a book called The Purpose-Driven Life that changed my life forever in 2008, written by a pastor named Rick Warren, who when I went through all my stuff, it got me through it. And when it was all done, the judge in Florida asked me, where do you want to go? And I said, can I go to California? I became a member of the church. I worked at his church for 14 years till he retired. And I'm now with my wife and our 5 kids. And my life has been completely changed. World Series home run's great, but my walk with the Lord and giving thanks for all that and changing lives through those experiences is what I'm doing now.
So when you pointed up Doc Gooden's recovery and revival, you're not only as a person who sympathizes, but empathizes.
Who's been through it, yes.
Jim, you have walked through pressure and delivered in moments that define eras. How is life for you now, and where can people follow your story or get in touch if they want to connect with, the King of October?
Well, I have a website called JimLeyritz.com, which pretty much shows everywhere I'm going, all the charities and foundations that I work for. One of the things playing for George Steinbrenner is he taught you how to give back. And if you didn't give back, you kind of wasted the opportunity that God gave you to have that pedestal of being a New York Yankee champion.
Indeed.
So most of my time is dedicated to charities like the Loeb Foundation that we're here for today, and other charities and foundations. I lost a brother-in-law to ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, obviously part of the Yankees, but also I was personally affected by it. I have a sister who just recovered from pancreatic cancer, and a sister-in-law who survived breast cancer. So a lot of different charities and foundations that I'm involved in that I was affected by personally.
Giving back.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. Your moment shifted history, and your voice brings clarity to legacy. Thank you for sitting with us here. On behalf of the World Baseball Network, I'd like to bestow upon you this corn, Baseball Without Borders. It's about military, competition, and challenge.
I know, I appreciate that. Thank you. And why we're talking about baseball, World Baseball Network.
Indeed.
I'm working with the Sonic.
Germany.
The Alligators in Germany. They found out that I was 100% German. And they said, would you please come to Germany next year and help us promote and make baseball in Europe big again? So I'll be going there in November to be part of that. Hopefully you guys can cover when we're out there. It's a big baseball, like almost like a winter meeting that they're having, that I'm going to go out and represent.
And so the WBC is going to be a major event for you?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Well, let's keep Germany moving upward.
Yeah. And baseball in Europe. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.